Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Craig and Tina's Moto-Exploits. How are you today, Tina?
Good. How are you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great. So Tina and I love talking about all things motorcycling. And today we're here to talk about the Cardo Packtalk Bold JBL 45mm speakers. I'm excited to talk about this, Tina.
I am too. There's been some conversation between the 40mm standard JBLs that you get with the Packtalk Bold, and now that the new black edition has been announced with these 45mm, I am excited to see how they compare.
I am too. Let's remark that there are actually three different speakers now on the Packtalk Bold. The original Packtalk Bold came with a Scala 40mm HD speaker. Our sets originally came with the 40mm JBL speakers, and now you can purchase a Packtalk Bold Black edition that comes standard with these 45mm speakers.
Right. The evolution of the Packtalk has changed to the fact to incorporate some of the better sound and some of the feedback from the users and the user community, indicating that we need that extra clarity with the bass, with the volume, in order to enhance our riding abilities.
So let's under full disclosure, let's disclose that Cardo provided this set for us to evaluate, and we're really happy to do so.
Yeah.
Also, these MSRP for $89.95. That's the retail price on them.
One thing I've got to say is, from the original Packtalk to the Packtalk Bold, just going from the 40mm speakers to the 40mm JBLs, there was a huge difference.
Quantum leap in
exactly. So there was a distinct difference. Matter of fact, in the process of the original Packtalk and where they are today, there's been a lot of updates just in the firmware of the unit itself. So a big difference.
Tremendous, yeah.
Big difference.
Tremendous. So we're excited to evaluate these. We're going to do an unboxing, test, and evaluation following this. Stay tuned. Okay, Tina, let's get on with the unboxing, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's see what we get. So it looks like we get a little instructional manual. By the way, now would be a good time to remark that if you have the original Packtalk Bold system with the original speakers, you're going to want to do a firmware update. They give you a little QR code here that you can scan in, and you can get the latest firmware for your cell phone, because there's audio profiles that they've added since the original unit. So make sure you read the instructions if you've got one of the originals. If you've got the 40mm JBL system already, more than likely you've already got it on your cell phone, and you're already good to go to select the different audio profiles.
Yep.
So let's see, you get a couple of additional Velcro pads to install in your helmet. You get a couple of extra speaker covers in case yours gets soiled or ripped or torn. Looks like they give you a couple of extra Velcro speaker spacers if you wanted to space those speakers closer to your ear for better sound.
And that's the important thing when we were talking about earlier, when we said the placement of the speakers are vital to how good and what the quality of sound you'll get. So you might need to utilize those spacers.
And then, of course, you get the new 45mm JBL speakers. Let's see if I can rotate those around and show those logos. So let's compare these, Tina, with the original 40mm JBLs, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
And here they are right there. So you can kind of get a size comparison here. Let's put them side by side. So you can see they're visually larger.
They're larger and they're thicker. If you do the
profile there, it's kind of hard to see. We're making a little shadow there, but they are a little bit thicker. Tina's right, and they're noticeably wider. 5mm doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
Right, I agree. But definitely, there's a difference, and even in their weight, they feel
a little weightier.
They do. They feel a little weightier, and what I was noticing as you were messing with them, when you flip them upside down, I was hearing, it feels as if they have a space here that allows for that sound to come in and go back, whereas this doesn't have that extra space. You know how whenever you you have a subwoofer or anything in a car, that extra space
Right.
allows that sound to develop,
reverberate, yep.
right, to
Yep.
develop and bounce back. So that's what you get with these that you don't have with the 40 millimeters.
Yeah, they definitely made an improvement. And if I can get the lighting just right, you can see the exposed magnet there. It's much more substantial than the 40 millimeters. The one on the 40s are even covered up, but it's smaller.
Right.
You can see it.
Yeah, I can see. All right, I'm excited.
Let's test them out, Tina.
Let's do it.
So here we are. We're excited to try these out. We're going to use this little jig that Tina and I put together. It's basically a headset that we've inserted the JBL speakers. Here we have the 40 millimeter JBLs that originally came with our Packtalk Bolds, and we inserted them inside the headphone. You know, Tina, speaker placement in your helmet is key to any good audio system on a motorcycle.
Right, I have to agree with that. Yeah. Well, on our last trip that we took, I was having some issues with hearing, and it wasn't because of the speakers. It was they had fallen out of alignment to my ear, and once they got out of alignment, it caused the volume to go down a lot. Distinct. Not only was the volume down, but the quality
Just
of the
the
volume.
degradation in sound quality.
It was tinny, and once I got them placed properly back right where they needed to be, right across my ear, the sound was amazing. So.
Yeah, so no matter, regardless of the brand communicator you're using, the speaker placement within your helmet is absolutely key to get them perfect. So in this jig, we found we want to compare the 40 millimeters to the 45s and to try to make as scientific of a way of comparing the sound to our ears as possible. And by inserting them in this headset, it really makes it reproducible, so we can put the speakers right where they need to be every time. So what we're using for a sound source is just basically my cell phone with one particular song that we're going to use as a standard, and we're going to swap back and forth between the 40 and 45s and see how they sound to us.
Right, and we'll give you an update as far as provide our feedback as to which one we feel has the better sound quality to it, and which one we think, if there is even a distinguishable sound quality difference. We're hoping there's going to be, but that's what we're wanting to reproduce with this.
Well, why don't we begin?
All right, let's start. He's got the 40 millimeter speakers.
Do you want to listen first?
Nope, go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to give us a start. Okay, we're cranked up, full volume on my phone. And I'm going to place this right up against the camera here to see if you guys can hear it. Sounds good. What do you think, Tina?
Yeah, there's a lot of distinct bass. You could hear the bass, you could hear the treble, you hear it really good between both of your ears, and that pocket that's in really does simulate the pocket of your helmet. And I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, but the pocket of the helmets that most helmets have a pocket for a speaker. That doesn't always line up with your ear. Everybody's ear placement's different. So don't assume you can put that speaker in that pocket and it line up. It might have to go a little high, a little low. The important thing is make sure it lines up to your ear, and this did it perfectly.
Yeah, everyone's head's a little different shape, ears are in a different location, and every helmet is different. So it's really, that's the critical element, is getting those speakers placed just
right.
right.
I'm excited to hear the 45s.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, we're back with the 45 millimeter JBLs in here now. So let's see how they sound, Tina.
All right, I'm excited. Are you going to test it in front of the camera first?
I am.
All right.
I'll tell you what, Tina, I can already feel the difference in my hand holding this headset. I can feel the vibration from these speakers.
Well, I'm anxious to try. Go listen to them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. You could definitely hear the difference in the vibration of the speakers. I mean, with the speakers bouncing back against the hard backing, which it will do on your helmet as well, it just directs that music, that sound directly into your ear, and the volume is distinctly louder because we kept the volume at the same level, did the same clip of the song, and the bass and clarity, big difference.
You know, the 40mm JBL sounded good.
Yeah, they did.
As we said earlier, you know, it was a quantum leap from the old Scala 40mm speakers to the JBL 40mm.
That would have been
speakers.
a nice test, wouldn't it have?
If I had a set of
I
those,
know.
that would have been great. That was a quantum leap because we had one of those early Packtalk bowls.
Back in the day.
We got them when they first
did.
came out.
Yeah, back in the day we got one. We had one.
So I would say going from the 40mm JBLs to the 45mm JBLs is like going from good to great.
Yeah, I would classify them as very, very crisp, very the volume level is noticeably different. So it's definitely a distinct difference between the 40 and the 45s for sure.
Way more than I actually thought. You know, we had seen some other evaluations of these in the past, and coming into this, I kind of had low expectations, to be honest with you, Tina.
Well, we did look at a few. I mean, there were some that indicated that it was minimally different. I think the difference in the way we tested, because we were back and forth a lot on we can't put them in the helmet, take them off the helmet, in the helmet. There's just not enough. There's too much time in that setup.
And getting them in the same spot every time is difficult.
Coming up with this method of testing, because that really mimics the helmet as best we can mimic the helmet. And I mean, obviously we don't have our wind noise, we don't have a lot of ambient noise all the way around us, but big difference.
But that's the ideal scenario. We want to get a scientific test of one to the other in the same situation, same setting, and this was a good solution for that, I think. You know, again, we didn't use the actual JBL Packtalk Bold for the sound source, but I don't think it matters. We're really comparing one speaker to another.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the sound source, I think, is irrelevant.
I agree. The fact that it's not Bluetooth, we're not Bluetoothing a phone into the unit and then the unit into this, I think is not relevant. I think what we're doing is very because it's consistent across both speakers.
Correct. Same source.
Yep.
And in my opinion, the 45mm JBL is noticeably superior.
Oh, I agree.
And I think if you want the absolute best audio quality in a motorcycle communicator, you have to have these.
Right. And I agree. I also would like to just say, evaluate your current setup on your helmet, because you might find that just a little bit of tweaking, will make a difference, because maybe those individuals that tested the Packtalk Bold speakers, the original, and compared them to the 45mm, might not have put them in the exact spot in their helmet in order to get the optimal sound, and doing it this way, perfect.
Yeah, this was a great test. So my hat's off to both Cardo
and
JBL for teaming up and coming up with a solution.
Good collaboration.
It really was, because this is a game changer, in my opinion, for motorcyclists who like to listen to music while they're riding.
I agree.
So I give it 2 thumbs up, Tina. What do you think?
2 thumbs up.
All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this video, please remark below. We'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.